listened to Bob Mabena growing up, but that's what hit me. I ended up,
working with him.
I ended up knowing him. Not like I feel like my time was robbed with Uncle Bob. I think I would have known him more, but I understood my role in his life because, to be honest, I documented his last few moments on air.
Wow.
Who says you have to be a chef in order to be in the kitchen? Hear me out. What I'm saying is we are all chefs in our respective fields. Whether you're an MD of a certain company, radio presenter, content producer, news anchor, or even an editor, we are all cooking something in the kitchen, using our unique skills to make sure what we dish up will definitely be an eye-opener or will give you an eargasm right here on the Kitchen Podcast.
Juicy, yeah. I heard my niggas be proud of me. Look at I'm reppin' my city so wavy, ain't nobody stopping me. Yeah. I'm giving no one apologies.
Ladies and gentlemen, manene nani manenekazi sifikile sigalelekile igama ngo-LB and I'm chilling with Thabo. I almost said the other
It's
name.
fine, you can say it, but just this one time.
Romeo, how are you, Romeo? Wangkolota.
It's always Sinyaka, it's always Jake Lee with Romeo Master. Guys,
I keep it local.
That's why
Sinyaka,
I prefer Thabo. Thabo's common, no one cares.
Like, I was shocked when I got to Vow and they said, oh, maybe you went to school with Thabo. I'm like, who's Thabo?
Yeah, you looked at me very weird, and you kept calling me Romeo the first day.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at this guy, like, dude, I'm not Romeo, I'm Thabo Tshabalala.
You didn't give me the memo, Chief.
Yeah,
You didn't give me the
obviously,
memo.
you just got there, so I mean, you didn't know, but I don't like. Look, Romeo's like my varsity, high school, primary school, and then I guess something changed. I wanted to use my black name.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Romeo must die.
I mean,
I'm joking.
what's your? Let's go to your other name. Let's go to your other name.
All right.
You don't know your other name, so let's not go there.
Nah, fam, they don't.
Should I mention it? Can I?
You know it?
Andres?
No, that's my surname.
Oh,
That's
wait,
my
what's
surname.
your surname?
That's my surname.
I didn't know.
Yeah. LB, why do you think I'm LB? Is Lebohang and the
What's
B
your
for?
other name? I mean, I know.
Let's
your
leave it
other
there.
name.
Let's leave it there.
Interesting. I
Let's
thought
leave it
Andres was your other name.
there. No, it's my surname.
Wow. White surname.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Colored background?
Nah, none whatsoever. None.
Colonialism. It's fine.
Why
It's
are you
okay.
interviewing
It's
me?
okay.
Who's doing the interview here?
I'm saying it's okay. Isn't it? It's okay, right? It's okay. Like, anyway.
It's a long
let's go.
story,
Let's
Jim.
go.
It's a long
Let's go.
story. But anyway, let's get into it. Who is Romeo? Oh, Thabo.
It's such a hard question.
Come on. I'm sure you can answer the question.
Thabo is I'm turning 27 on Monday, so I can say Thabo is a 27-year-old who...
Happy birthday in advance.
You're not going to wish me a happy birthday anyway. What's the point?
That's what I'm saying in advance.
But you're not going to wish me on the day.
I will.
Or
Trust in me.
personally,
Trust in me.
or do anything.
I got you. Answer the question.
Anyway, yeah. 27-year-old from Sasolburg, a small town in the southern side of the Free State. I am an aspiring broadcaster. I am a content creator digitally, especially on social media. And I'm a multimedia journalist, and Thabo is someone who loves South Africa so much that I'm invested in what happens in this country. I care about the constitution of this country only now, later on in my life. So
You sound like a politician right now.
really,
Yeah.
maybe it's my work. It's my work. So yeah, I've been in so many newsrooms for the past, I can say, half a decade, past 5 years now. Yeah, 5 years. It was 5 years, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 6 years. Been working.
You've been here.
So obviously that's why I sound maybe like a politician. I'm not a politician.
Alright. Leave this thing in my
Anyway.
And you'll never know it. Never. I did. So, what kind of a child were you while growing up?
Ish.
Butanda.
Look, I was a very mama's boy.
Oh, wow.
I cried a lot. I cried. Yeah, I'm a crier, even now in my life. But as a baby, I was a crier.
They never told you to go to the car.
Okay, we're gonna go there.
Okay, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
because that's another conversation. Really,
Okay,
not
cool.
that kind of, oh my God, in 2021.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Right, baby, continue.
Wow. cry baby. It's like, I loved TV. As a kid. I was very no man. Like in terms of like actual news. And radio, especially radio. I think my love for radio came because of my mom. I loved hearing this small little box that looks like a box that has this person talking through it.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I was invested in television. My sister, especially, always reality TV. Especially, I'm that kid who just grew up loving TV and the radio. And
cool. Yeah. So, what radio? Who was your mom listening to? Who do you remember from back then?
What's weird about that?
Yeah.
She played Bob Mabena and Quilly Roberts when they did the breakfast show.
Oh, at Kaya
FM.
Yeah.
Always, that was always on. You know, when you go to school, man, you hear this man's voice, and and sometimes you hear this man laughing his his lungs out, and you hear this lady that you know as a kid from Soweto TV. I don't know if you know, Quilly Roberts used to like do this entertainment segment on long time ago. I was a kid. Probably I was like 10 or 11, and me and my sister used to be invested in that, and we used to just crack ourselves because the way she told the story. So yeah, I knew Quilly Roberts from there, and yeah, she always had that on. And on the television, funny enough, she always had the news on 4:03 when ENCA started.
Oh, okay.
She always used to put it on. Just being around this culture of knowing what's happening in South Africa, of knowing this is the top story of the day. I think that's me growing up. Yeah.
You sound like Chiliam right now.
Who's Chiliam?
You don't know Chiliam?
Don't expose me. I don't know. I don't know Chiliam.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow. Who did? He was on why? Okay, fine. I was watching his interview the other day, and he said he was manufactured into radio because his mom used to take him to the radio stations, or SABC radio stations, and all that. Yeah. So I feel like now you are also manufactured too.
Well, I wish my mother took me to.
But you were listening to radio.
I mean, as a kid, I remember when we had to leave primary school. Yeah. I had this dream of going to the National School of Arts because during my school years, especially in primary, I wasn't the sports guy. Until my high school years, I played rugby first team for high school. So yeah, but in primary, I did state fits. I don't know if you know what state fits are. No. Whereby you say a poem in front of people and you say them. That's where the news reading comes from. Oh. Because I was part of the state fits, and you'd get a certificate. There's certain levels that you would get. And yeah, that's where my love for talking, especially, and not imitating, but presenting and saying words in a specific way. Wow. And creating some sort of feeling to those words. So yeah, that's also part of my childhood and how I fell in love more with media and what goes on in this country.
Interesting. So fast forward to varsity. Where did you attend varsity?
I attended varsity with you, same class.
They don't know.
I know. But yeah, we both went to a place called Boston Media House. Yeah. In Sandton, funny enough.
Sandton.
You know, Tommy, like Sandton became like, oh yeah, Sandton. Yeah, I'm going to Sandton. At first it was like Sandton, but I mean, come on, bro. Right now, someone says like Sandton, you're like, oh, bro. I mean, spent like
being there for like 3 years,
like all my life, and I got over seeing Michelangelo, and I've been inside it. So yeah, but I went to Boston Media House for a good I don't know how many years was it, like 4 years. I haven't graduated. I know
you haven't graduated.
I haven't.
And you managed to get a job.
Bro, like it's one of those things, and I always say this: experience.
True.
But I will graduate. I'm gonna eventually have to close that chapter of my life. But I'm that kid. I was in school and something happened and I realized the big picture and I went out and looked for a job and I guess my experience has gotten me where I am. And I'm not saying I don't want to sound like Casper to say
you don't need school.
No, bro, you do. I mean after Boston, I'm looking into doing a degree in journalism and just being educated and learning more and all of that.
So at Boston, you went for journalism.
No, I went for radio production. I majored in radio.
Oh.
So I didn't major in journalism.
Oh, how stupid of me. Yeah, I remember now because we're in the same group.
We did a show called The Man Cave Experience.
And you never gave me my flowers, Chief.
Flowers for what?
I created that group.
Which group?
The Man Cave Experience group.
Well, unfortunately, we were placed as a group. Weren't we placed?
No, we were not. I was with Zandi and them, and I'm like, I told the lecturer, like, yo, I'm not comfortable in that group.
Yeah.
And I created my own group.
Actually, that was a fun experience. You're right.
Yeah.
You approached me in earnest, and I've forgotten Paul's name.
Paul.
I've forgotten Paul's name when I saw the video.
The memory on Facebook. Yeah.
I forgot his name, and I'm like, who was this guy?
Paul. I forgot Pizzle something. Yeah.
I don't have him on Facebook. Maybe that's why. Because I know because is always like viewing my stuff, and they know, So that's
so please give me my flowers, and we ended up being the highest in class.
Things flowers.
Give me money. Yeah. Give me money.
Anyway, can we do this?
You got the money.
Yes,
the money. All right, cool. So first one to Vow FM.
Oh, yeah.
What were you doing, and how did you get?
Just for the sake of context, I need to tell the story. Dude, I'm a crybaby, as I said, so I can't cry. I can't cry. Anyway, no, I won't cry.
Assistant manager, tissue.
Really don't do that to my friend right now. Anyway, Vow, LB, this is not a lie. This is dead honesty. My mother's sick, and I'm going there. My mother's sick. I can see Guti. It's not gonna end well here. From the minute she was diagnosed with cancer in 2015 December.
Yeah.
Just something in me. It's like, it's not gonna end well. Went through the year, got worse. November comes. Beginning of November. I'm like, no. For someone who doesn't understand what that means, but someone who supports me is on the brink of dying. I'm unemployed.
Yeah.
And she gave me everything. She's gonna die. What am I gonna do? When she dies, I'm unemployed. I'm in school. What am I gonna do? It's time that I go seek out a job, even if it's free. I refuse.
Yes.
I refuse to do something I don't like. I refuse that, Obi. I refuse to be that kid who's forced to do something because of the situation. Rather do something I love. I know you will succeed.
And excel at it.
And I sat a week applying.
The whole
week I didn't even go to school. Just applying, just sitting in your room, laptop, and looking for campus radio stations, community radio stations, even Karabo FM. I remember even sending it to Trans Africa. Yeah, I said Transnet, and the email came back.
Are you serious?
It's like, and by the way, it's not Transnet, it's actually Trans Africa. It was so embarrassing. And then I remember it was a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I see Vow FM, do some research on them. I'm like, this looks like a cool place. Send the first email. Okay, they're like, no, they're not looking for people, and all of that. I got a response. That's one thing I like.
Yeah.
And then on Thursday, I get this message. I remember I was using a Nokia, small. That was my mother's phone, her other phone. But yeah, I was using that, and I see this email. They're like, "Can you come tomorrow, Friday, for an interview? There might be an internship opportunity at Vow for you."
Nice.
What? Yeah, bro, I freaked out. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But I'm like, okay, no, I was shocked. Like, never been to an interview. I don't know how it's gonna go. Friday comes, I'm in Braamfontein. I call my mother, but I can hear Mamzo. She's out. She can't hear. She can't hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then I call my dad. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm about to go into this interview. This place called Vow radio station. And yeah, I went through, met this lady named Osnerato, this guy named Sim. And yeah, they interviewed me, and I left. It was 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock, I had a boyfriend at the time. I know, right? I had a boyfriend at the time. And after that, big senior check. the senior shaker.
So how did the interview go?
The interview was weird. I didn't know how to feel, but I did well because I answered every question. I answered every question. Most of the questions were about what happens in South Africa.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I'm invested in it because of the culture of growing up in a place where every day there's always information that's coming through.
Nice.
And 1 o'clock comes, went to my boyfriend, 2 o'clock, and then I got an email saying, "But you come through on Monday. You start at 10 o'clock for an internship for 2 weeks." I'm like, what the what?
I like the inside, bro.
I'm like, no way. You know, I didn't care good to know, but I mean, I'm still a student.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how Vow came about.
So what were your duties then? Like, what did you do?
So in a 2 weeks internship, obviously in an intern they show you around.
Yeah, Alice.
You do everything, and then I met this girl. Her name is Razi Zondo.
Oh, Sister
Ntwembu, man.
Yeah.
Sister Ntwembu and Tula as well.
Tula Jones.
Tula Joburg. Yeah. And they were like to me, dude, what do you like? What's your niche? What, like, you can't just come here and do it. This can't be it. You know, this 2 weeks can't just
so you need to stay a bit longer.
Like, you need to stay a bit longer. What do you want to do? Then I thought about it. I'm like, I love news. I want to join the newsroom. This lady says Kutso, met her. I'm like, and I asked her after the 2 weeks, can I stay longer? So that I can just learn what goes on in the newsroom and all of that. She was like, cool, you can stay another 2 weeks. Stayed another 2 weeks, enjoyed it, and after that 2 weeks was middle of December. I think it was just before the 16th, I think it was the 15th. And obviously things were starting to wrap up. There was ending. And I get a call from back home. Would say, Mom's not doing, Mom's not fine. She's just got admitted to hospital. I remember my sister calling me 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like, my mama's not doing well. Come through. You need to come home. So I had to postpone Vow for that period.
And they understood.
And they did. I mean, I'd stayed there I didn't finish the other 2 weeks. I think I was about to, and then the call came on Monday. I had to go home, and my mother passed on the 19th of December. Went through 2016, and then in 2017 January, met this guy. Used to be a friend of mine, or my friend's brother. My former friend. Is there such a thing?
Ex-friend.
I met his brother at Debonairs, funny enough. And then he's like to me, why are you still here? You know, what do you mean? It's like, dude, radio, what are you doing with your life? What's going on? And then it hit me. Wow. Immediately, I sent an email to Kutso and Aspirato at the time. Kutso was the editor of Vow, and then Aspirato was the programs manager at the time. And I sent an email to both of them. Aspirato responded, like, come through, the next day. Literally had to ask for money to come to Joburg, came, and it was so weird. It was like sitting at the boardroom myself out, like round table, and they were there. I told them what had happened, and I told them, can I be a volunteer for the Vow? Volunteer, can get paid. It's radio. Exposure. I mean, it's the industry. Probably everyone we've interviewed here has done an internship at a radio station. So you're a volunteer. And they agreed. They were like, okay, you can be a volunteer for a year. And I began Vow, and I was a volunteer.
So how did you get into Jacaranda?
Because of Vow. So
Vow was black.
Yes, when Vow was the plug, bro.
Still the plug.
Still the plug for everyone, for most of us. Most, I feel like it's the new Y, because Y has become so commercial.
Yeah.
And because most careers started at Y, but now most careers are actually started on
Vow. Because
I'm trying to think of my generation and looking at where the people are. I mean, looking at you're interviewing me right now. Like we are progressing and adding value to this industry of ours.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
So Vow had this program that they do with radio stations.
It's like an internship, right?
Like an internship, another one. So they had Jacaranda and Eyewitness News, 702's News Hub. And I went to 702. That was my first actual interview. Like it was like a boardroom, EWN, like filled with people, and it was more than 5 people there. It was the news editor, it was the it was, and I was the Rato and Kuto were there. And I was so impressed with myself. I'm not gonna lie to you, I couldn't believe it. That's when I was like, you know what?
Is this me?
I have you, bro. You know what? Like it's flowing.
Yeah.
And the people that are there are people who are actually big in this industry who've been editors for big, even where I currently work. The lady who interviewed me is the managing director there. And they were so impressed. But now, I didn't get the job because my writing skills, my writing skills are not, and it's okay. Like my writing skills they're better because I've done this for so long. Not long, but I've done this for quite some time now. But my writing skills didn't get me in. But they were like, but we like your voice, And they offered me, I actually enjoy a game, not yet. But they liked me for my news reading. Bro. I mean, I've been reading the news ever since.
Every now and then we kids,
even on, oh my gosh. The news we used to do that. Horrifying when I think of it now. But they like my voice. And I remember Kuto coming to me like, hey Miguel, they like your voice, but they want you to be a freelancer as an overnight newsreader. I thought about it, but I'm like, Jacaranda's there, Let me try that, If I don't get Jacks, then I accept this.
So you had options.
Yeah, because I had not done the Jacka interview. So with the Jacka interview, I was very confident because of EWN and how I shot myself. And so in a newsroom, before you get in the interview, you do this test. So at EWN, I think I failed the test. Not failed, but I didn't do well. Jacaranda got 4 marks. And it's funny, the thing was said by Kuto, the test was said by Kuto. She said she's showing lots of time. I like this about being professionals. Cut, Baba. But
PA. All right.
And then I took Jacaranda, and I knew I was going to get that.
And you got it.
Yeah, I did. And I was an intern for a year at Jacaranda. In 2018.
You finally got paid.
Yeah, actually, I finally got paid. Wow. It was some relief because my dad was still helping me out for my rent. So I had like money. I had like extra cash just laying around. So yeah.
So you spoke about in volunteering.
Yeah.
Can you just emphasize the importance of volunteering?
If you don't, then you won't go forward. If you don't pay your dues, that's what I say.
Pay your dues.
Yes, bro. You have to work for free in something that you love in order for you to realize the bigger picture that you're learning. You're not doing it for money. So if you don't volunteer in radio, in television, in writing, in anything, then if you don't do music for free, what's the point?
Yeah, that's true.
Artists will tell you, musicians will tell you, hey, used to record back of my room.
Sing along.
That's why I'm here. I get why some CEOs are mean, because they had to sacrifice a lot of you. A lot. And working for free is one of them. Yeah, I know, but that's a conversation for another day. But I get why certain CEOs, and that's why they're not mean, but they're hard. And they make decisions for them because they know what they've been through to get where they are. It's not coming from a bad place. I suffered to get here. So I want this thing to work. So the volunteering is important.
Alright, power.
Why are you?
Before Power and Vow FM and all, you also worked at Karabo FM, right?
That was back home.
Yeah.
That's when I started. Yeah, my God.
So that was also volunteering.
Yes, that was volunteering. That was like, I don't know what I'm doing. That was learning. That was how I entered the industry. And I'm grateful for places like that. If you don't do it in your hood as well, where are you going to do it?
But anyways, back home,
What was the approach, kind?
Yes, man.
Bro, you need to kiss ass, bro.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, I know it's effed up for me to say that, but you're kissing us in a good way because it will benefit you in the long run.
True. I guess I didn't have the patience back then.
Yeah,
I didn't have the patience.
That's
back
another
then.
thing you should have.
Okay,
Patience.
cool. Let's go to Power FM.
Yeah.
You get me.
Just to put it out there, yeah, as when I got to Vow, a reality check hit that this is how things are done. And at community level like Karabo FM,
Please give us 10.
no. At a community station like Karabo FM,
Yeah.
where we source the news, we take the news off other websites, other media houses, and we just change a few words. But
But
at Vow,
how valuable are the sources? Like, you just
we just change sometimes it's just to read.
Eh.
There's no, I don't know, maybe things have changed, but I believe on a community level especially, we don't do the actual job. I only learned how to be a journalist when I got to Vow.
Oh.
I understood the importance of owning your own story, going out for your own story, calling for that soundbite. Like things like that, for example, like how newsrooms operate. And it's such a pity that we don't have that on a community level.
No.
And places outside of Gauteng, for example.
True. So what were you doing at Power FM?
Yes, bro.
Don't cry.
Everything started at Power, bro. Everything started at Power.
Yeah.
I was the online, at the time, digital online night reporter. So I would write for the website, whatever's on air, sometimes do my own stories.
Yeah.
But I think what's fundamental about Power was I found myself. I became a social media coordinator for the station. The person who feeds content for the station's social media handles. Taking pictures, doing short videos, telling the story, being involved.
Tweeting.
Basically taking what's on air, putting it on social media. That's what it ended up being. It ended up me forming this illusion of a show, like a TV show.
Jeez.
So that's what I did at Power. Yeah, that's what I did at Power.
You're a hustler.
I'm not bro. Power, man. Power. I listened to Bob Mabena growing up, but that's what hit me. I ended up
working with him.
I ended up knowing him. Not like I feel like my time was robbed with Uncle Bob. I think I would have known him more, but I understood my role in his life because, to be honest, I documented his last few moments on air.
Wow.
Pictures, and I documented
Videos,
his last few, and it makes me so emotional when I see a picture that I took being used, especially when he passed on. Next week Tuesday will mark a year since the man passed on. So,
sheesh.
Yeah, and I got to work with him. I listened to him as a kid and got to work with him.
But first time meeting him, were you excited? What was the feeling?
I was nervous. Because I didn't understand what I was doing at the time. But when I started taking pictures, that's when I even more just to get nervous. But this is my job. And I realized that at the end that this was my job. Like I had to do this for him, for documenting him at Power and his last moments on air. But it hit me at the end. And he actually started appreciating what I did. Like I remember when Faith came along and she did the show with him, and we're at the launch of the show, of the new people that are coming on Power. And Faith was like, I hope you can take good photos, Nana. Bob was like, trust me, he's good and he's damn good. Bro, that helped me to be like, this man actually believes in me, even if he doesn't say it. And that's one thing about the industry. Don't go out there looking for recognition. Push to you, bro.
Just do you.
Just do you.
The work will speak.
The work will speak for itself.
Nice.
Work ethic is important.
Nice.
That's one thing I learned also with Power. The work ethic is proper. Proper. This time thing. So
this time thing.
I've been talking for almost 30 minutes.
But I've been pushing it into an hour now.
Yeah. No. No. Can't talk for that long. Right.
Alright, got 4 minutes left.
Okay.
So let's play a game. Quick one.
What game is all these?
Nah, don't worry. Don't worry. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
I'll give you 2 options.
One hard.
No, it's
I
not
hate
hard.
nothing.
No,
I hated maths. That's why I did maths lit. Anyway.
Stop it. I'll give you 2 options.
Yeah.
And you'll explain why you're choosing whatever you're choosing, right?
Okay.
Cool. The first one is desk reporting.
Almost thought other things.
Desk reporting. Or being behind the mic, which is in studio. Doing the news.
That's a hard question.
And why?
I need to know how to be a desk reporter. I need to know what a newsroom desk is in order for me to be behind the mic.
Okay.
So
you can't jump.
I can't jump. And that's why I'm going through this process of learning how things are behind.
Okay.
If you don't learn what's behind it, then when you're in front of it, what will you say? How will you know there's an auto cue, or there's a producer who's taking calls, who's screening calls for me?
Oh.
How will you know that?
So that's what a desk thing operator does.
Yeah, I mean, a desk reporter is like, in a way, a producer.
Saying operator.
Yeah, well, operator. I don't think it's not, okay, a contributor to the newsroom. Let's call it like that.
Oh,
yeah, the contributor to the newsroom. But if you don't understand how that works, then when you're in front, you won't get it, bro. If you have not watched any podcast right now, I don't know.
I'll be all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you need to understand what's behind. So I prefer behind.
Okay, cool. Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
Why?
I don't know. I just have more engagement there. I'm thinking of myself right now. The social media platforms like Facebook. Facebook used to love me, but now I feel like because I didn't post it in so long, like there was a time where I didn't post at all for a good 6-7 months. And the thing about social media, if you don't engage with the app, it will not engage with you.
Yeah, the algorithm.
Everything will be lost. You're only into like not even like people won't see with like.
But don't you feel like Facebook has like loyal listeners? I mean, not listeners, followers.
Unfortunately, for me, it's become the other way.
What?
People are more loyal on my Instagram than they are on my Facebook now.
Okay, so Instagram.
Yeah, my Instagram.
Last one. Bob Mabena or Robert Maro.
Obvious. I mean, due to such an obvious question, my God, but Uncle Bob all the way.
Why?
Because I listened to the man, and I ended up being in the same room where he spoke and treated me like a normal person. Yeah.
Nice.
Uncle Bob.
Nice. Let's talk about lastly the current occupation. You at Newsroom Africa.
Newsroom Africa, Channel 405.
Jai Gang?
TV.
Yeah. So you're advertising right now. You won't play.
Yeah, no.
I'm kidding, man. What do you do there?
I'm a social media coordinator. But with Newsroom evolving, I think I'm going to end up being the writer as well, writing for the website.
Okay.
I do believe it will get there, but I'm a social media coordinator, meaning that whatever's on air, I cut into sound bites and also on YouTube with the link, and yeah. So hopefully I'll be doing what I did at Power, being the station's photographer or videographer, or whatever you want to call it, but for social media. So yeah, that's what I do. That's my daily job. So
and you enjoy it?
TV's hard. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm also just to mention this. It's also part of my job, but I'm also in the gallery. So a TV gallery is where the big TV screens are, like like over 10 TV screens, whereby different cameras, and you have a director who's directing everything. Like, on TV. I don't know if you understand, like, being in a TV gallery.
It's like a control room.
An operating room. It's a control room.
Big screens and buttons.
They say, we play this Ole. So on Newsroom, there's certain graphics that appear, like infographics. Infographics are we're showing like maybe the number of cases for COVID, since we live in a COVID time. So I'm the one who clicks and presses play on that. So, frustrating. Bro, you can't. Bro, this industry, you can't take things personally, and that's what that place and that environment is teaching me.
Sheesh. Wow. All right. In closing, what advice would you give to the people watching right now who wants to be in your shoes?
Don't make it sound like my job is fancy. I'm behind the scenes. BTS.
Yes, behind the scenes. Like, we all don't have the same passions, So what advice would you give to somebody that wants to do I just want to be in the behind the scenes and all.
Work ethic is important.
Yeah.
Waking up and going to work is important, and being open-minded to learn, and don't be afraid to evolve. Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
What's that mean?
Bruh, you are not in scientism. You're in
Alright, cool.
But work ethic, man. I mean, bruh, I used to wake up, and my friends and my family are testimony to that. That I used to wake up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., go to work, come back at 5 p.m. Come back at 5 p.m. and in the afternoon, or sometimes 6 p.m., 8 p.m. Like, not thinking of time, not thinking of, oh my God, I need to go sleep. Oh my God, bro,
why?
if you don't have that ethic, then you'll fail.
Wow.
Or not fail, but you won't achieve.
Nah, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you.
Thank you. Shout
So,
out to you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So where can people where can people catch you?
Really?
Yeah.
Is that important?
Very important.
Get me like where?
Chief, it's important.
Get me where?
Chief.
Specific. Okay,
Focus.
Instagram handle is at I am Romeo. I am Thabo Tshabalala. Oh my God,
Oh,
I am Thabo Tshabalala. On Instagram. on Twitter, it's Thabo_Shaba, TSABA. And then on Facebook is Thabo Tshabalala.
All right. No, thank you very much, my guy. I really appreciate your
I
time.
appreciate you too. Thank you
Oh,
for
wait.
visiting me.
You know,
the next time
nothing.
Why
Joking.
The next time we meet, it will be in a fancier place.
In an apartment.
Yeah, actually, where you can show off my stuff. I can take you through my closet. Now I can't.
No, thank you very much. We out.
Juicy. Yeah. I heard my niggas be proud of me.
Yeah.
Look at up in my city, so wavy, ain't nobody stopping me.
Your mom, you prepared me for it like
No one
this.
apology. Tryna make me some rain.